What's up, people? We are back with more of Eden. In the previous video, Shion, glorious Shion, appeared before us, which was never really done before, so it was really surprising, of course. And yeah, according to Major Inaba, the Earth evacuation project is in its final stages, so let's see how it will develop. Inaba left the parlor, walked the hallway alone once more, and wiped the sweat from beneath his chin. It wasn't uncommon to come out of a meeting with Shion a little frayed around the edges. Inaba has been assigned to Research Facility number 703, right after being appointed second lieutenant. Lucky or not, he had many chances to meet with her. He had known her for some years now, yet he still could not hide his anxiety when standing face to face with her. The genius scientist who had lived for 100 years and brought hope to this dying world. The girl who was called the Supreme Felix. Although her appearance was that of a girl in her youth, she was a completely different creature inside. Phew. Inaba breathed, I don't know, he let out a sigh and suddenly pondered. How was it for Ryou Haruna? He was indeed brazen, but did he falter before her? In the report he received earlier, he found Shion had made contact with Haruna. Inaba felt he should have requested a slightly more detailed account. Knowing Haruna, he may have possessed the necessary fortitude to endure Shion's overwhelming presence. Perhaps Ryou Haruna, he's the chosen one. Perhaps he can do what I could not. What are you thinking about, Shion? Asked Alicia as she set the steaming cup on the table. The master she served briefly gazed at the tea she was pouring before taking the cup in her hand. This is nice once in a while. I just got distracted by Shion's cuteness. That warrant officer said something like, it made good practice as well. Oh wait, I have to do sort of a non-emotional voice because that's how they described Shion's voice, so you just kind of have to not put emotion in it. Stop joking around. Can't you grasp how important you are? Why is it that the one thing you don't understand? That's a little harsh. No matter how much time passes, it'll seem like you'll never quit your habit of grooming me. Shion let out a refined giggle. What? She can laugh? Although she appeared to be a youthful young lady, she had already been alive for 100 years. Regardless, Alicia always felt it mysterious that she could still smile so innocently. Anyways, stop doing things that recklessly provoke the soldiers. Besides, the Major and his select subordinates, there exists the possibility that an assassin has infiltrated this place. If you show yourself like that, they might take advantage of it and do something reckless. The Major is here to eliminate people like that. I should hope he's competent enough for the job. Besides, it's no big deal if I'm being targeted. What do you mean by that? Who knows? I have a feeling that she's sort of depressed. Poor Shion. Shion gave an uncomfortable smile, but a foreboding sense of dread lingered in her eyes. The very sight sent a crushing pain into Alicia's heart. Oh no, poor Alicia. Perhaps I should go around and explain to these enemies that they'll gain nothing by killing me now. Besides, it's a pity to make the Major do all this extra work. Shion, I'm begging you, don't give up hope. I'm merely doing what I need to accomplish. Isn't it the same for you? I make a point not to get in your way too. Forgive me, I shall restrain myself from now on. Shion, you... Just as you hold me dear, you are precious to me as well. I won't do anything more to trouble you. Sorry, Alicia. Alicia sighed very deeply. How much did she know exactly? They had been together for a long time, but Alicia could never fully read Shion's thoughts. Just to make sure, are you feeling alright? Why do you ask? Don't why do you ask me? Even though you say you've been in good shape these past few days, you suddenly went walking around. It was just a little walk. You're being a worrywart. You'll upset your stomach if you keep it up. Shion was a bit annoyed. As she said, Alicia understood she was prone to worrying, but she truly could not help but worry. Shion had not left her room alone and walked around the research facility for some time now. I'm okay. I understand my own body, even if it's not as well as you do. I was in good physical shape today. Really? Is she sick? Shion, no! I hope that's true. Alicia sighed, knowing full well it would be pointless to say anything further. Hey, Alicia. What? That warrant officer back there, named Haruna. Ryou? What about him? What sort of person is he? You mentioned you had a premonition. Was it about that? Shion had been strangely sensitive since she was a child and sometimes displayed an intuition so vivid it was scary. That excellent brain of hers may have been able to read incredibly delicate changes in mood no ordinary human could understand. Shion had once mentioned that she was particularly sensitive to bloodlust. Uh-oh. That's not all. He wasn't carrying a gun. He wasn't? He had a holster, but it was empty. You really do notice the smallest things, but... Alicia tilted her head. Don't they leave their firearms with the armory when they're not on duty? That's the official policy. Enforcement of the rules is lax around here, so aside from rifles, everyone takes custody of their own sidearms. I don't think Ryou is the forgetful type. As far as Ryou Haruna was concerned, it was likely he had forgotten his gun. It was likely he had never forgotten his gun in his room. Perhaps he was on an assignment where he couldn't use one. Like what? For example, an assassination. I see. So he's the Major's eliminator. This research facility was spacious, but there were people stationed all over, including outside. If a firearm were to discharge, someone would almost certainly hear it. One could use a suppressor, but if they didn't want to cause a commotion, maybe the wisest choice was to play it safe and not use a firearm at all. If one had the skill to reliably take down a target with a knife or similar, that was a likely option. What's his personal history? I hear he came from the Special Forces. I think it was called something like GAT, G-A-T. G-A-T, the military's 13th Special Forces unit. The unit which annihilated the anti-emigration front, the Dawn Stars. Wow. They're the organization that kept causing insurrections while making bold claims like, "We humanity will not run away from the likes of space, and should we perish, we ought to gallantly face that time when it comes." Ryou was involved in taking them down? Perhaps instead of being called an elite, he should be called a monster. I wonder what the Major is thinking too. He seems to be looking for pawns he can trust. That's true. Let's be a bit cautious of Ryou. Alicia fundamentally trusted Inaba. He didn't seem to have the slightest intent to harm Shion, and although he looked scatterbrained, he was handling his work well. But it bothered her that sometimes he secretly plotted and schemed where nobody's eyes could ever reach. And now, Warrant Officer Ryou Haruna was assisting him in those plots. By the way, Something's been on my mind since earlier. Huh? Shion had an unusually bewildered look on her face. Although he's still young, it's rare for you to act so friendly with a man. Aren't you getting a little too close to Warrant Officer Haruna? What's the reason for that? It's a secret. That's too bad. Shion said that rather playfully, then put a hand to her mouth and said no more. Shion? The Major has gotten more active lately. The time may be drawing near. So you think so as well? Alicia murmured and drooped her shoulders. Although they had expected it, to have it come from Shion's own mouth only emphasized the fact. I'm prepared, but it will be very soon. Shion took a breath and relaxed her shoulders. This mild inconvenience will soon be over, and my time of complete confinement will begin. Shion. Even if they are locked away in a cage, as long as they have wings. What was that? Why did it skip? But if their wings are plucked, they will cease to be birds. Why is it skipping automatically? The moment he returned to his room, laid on his bed and closed his eyes, the image of that girl came to mind. He thought she would be no more than the cool-headed scientist type, but upon meeting the genuine article, he sensed a little childishness to her as well. But something was definitely off base. It was something just below the surface. I opened my eyes and picked up the 9mm pistol by my pillow. The magazine had been reinserted and a new bullet was loaded into the chamber. It was a job catered to me for the first time in forever too. The feeling of satisfaction from having accomplished an assignment had been effortlessly, blown away, and in its place, I could not get Shion's figure out of my mind. Damn. I shook my head many times. There was nothing better than going to sleep at times like these. My mind would be better off always empty. Thinking of the unnecessary would weaken my resolve when push came to shove. As I prayed for Shion to not appear in my dreams, I closed my eyes. When you want something to not happen, it's gonna happen. Unexpectedly, I may have enjoyed Shion. Oh my god, my ears! Staring straight at my target, thinking of nothing, I continued to fire. Oh my god, my ears again. I think one eardrum just popped. My mind was clear. My eyes focused down the range, and my finger pulled the trigger. All other senses disappeared. There's gonna be another gunshot, isn't there? Ah! My shot sank into the target, one after the other. None of them flew astray. Haha, the bullets now. Oh, my ears are gonna be fine. The slide stopped with a hard recoil. I still had plenty of bullets. As I reached for another magazine. How zealous. Ooh, it's Lavi. Up early and practicing while off duty. It's just stress relief. I answered after removing my ear protectors. I see. I guess being able to shoot on someone else's dime is one of our privileges. Isn't it normal to practice in the morning? I find it stranger that there's nobody else here. The longer you're here, the less you'll feel like practicing on your own time. Everything is just so peaceful. That'll make you rusty. Perhaps. She smiled mischievously and squinted in the direction of the target. Oh, you're quite the shot. You got them all right in the head and center mass. It would be pretty bad if I missed a stationary target. I inserted a new magazine and held the gun out to Levi. Oh god, rip our ears again. Huh? Want to try? I'll pass. I'm not fond of guns. Then what do you like? Blades. Ho ho ho! I I see. Japanese swords are the best. I'm secretly carrying one. I could stare at it all day without getting bored. The radiance of the tempered steel, the nuanced curve of the blade, the way it gleams when drawn. I'm glad I was born Japanese. Wait, aren't you only half? I'm a traditional Japanese woman at heart. Are there actually any traditional Japanese women who like swords? I guess so, right in front of me. By the way, I heard you met Shion last night. You have sharp ears. Last night caused such a commotion that it might have been stranger if she didn't know. I passed by the dining room a while ago and the mood seemed kind of off. I caught a private I knew and he coughed it up when I put him up to the screws, so it sounds like Shion came out of a room, huh? I just happened to meet her by chance. I answered well, thinking he probably would have spat it out without her having to wring it out of him. You're a lucky man, warned Officer Haruna. Some people have worked here for 10 years and never seen her once. She only left her room for a little while at that. She said she felt a premonition. I wondered what she meant by that. Just a little while? Even so, she still came out. I wonder how much of it is true. You mean what you said before? Yeah. In truth, Shion... The rumors are saying it won't be long now. She almost never comes out, and the rumor is that she's reaching the upper limit of a felix's lifespan. Oh no, what? She's dying? What? You saw her up close, right? What do you think? She didn't look like she was in poor health or anything, but I'm no doctor. There's no way I'd know just by looking. She's probably not on the brink of death if she could leave her room. Who knows? It's not like we were going to reach any conclusions just thinking about it. I had only seen her once, and Levi had only heard rumors. Okay, setting that aside for now. Everyone is on their toes this morning. I wonder if they'll get any work done this way. They're all so sloppy. That said, I may not be the one to talk. I was at the range here just to calm myself down. There were people who believed she wasn't even here. It can't be helped if they're surprised. Nobody noticed that Sergeant Callius and Corporal Matsunuga are gone. Even if they did, they aren't worrying about it. Uh-oh. She threw that in so nonchalantly that I almost ignored it, but Levi had definitely thrown a small bombshell. Desertion? How could you desert this place? The facility only has one emergency helicopter. You need a pass. The major carries to even start it. I don't think either one of them even knew how to fly one anyway. Warned Officer Levi, what were you doing last night? There's no way you slept through all that commotion, right? Wouldn't it be strange if you didn't notice anything, even off-duty? Oh, is this where the cross-examination begins? Levi was smiling sweetly. I'm simply curious. If a buddy of mine couldn't wake up even with all that noise, it could be a problem. Indeed. Since we're temporarily accomplices, let's drop this fool's facade. Levi moved a step towards me without so much as a sound. Her pupils pointed straight at me. I had seen eyes like these many times before. It's the killer eyes. It's all to protect Shion. Those were the eyes of someone who had gone into a battlefield, scared out of their mind, killed to survive, and repeated that cycle many times over. They were the eyes of a person who would put their life on the line without an ounce of doubt or hesitation. I will show no mercy to anyone who would try to harm her. Poor Corporal Matsunuga. It sounded like he really liked me. If he were a spy, he should have just kept his cool and went about his duties. He seemed to take good care of his own safety. but blithely, I don't know that word, took me up on my invitation. You told me you like blades. Are you proficient at handling them? Close combat is my specialty. I can take out most opponents before they get a groan out. You didn't even give him time to realize he was being killed? How kind of you. I just made sure it wasn't in poor taste. I've already done more than enough to assure my place in hell. And even now, the weight of my sins is slowly pulling me down. Levi didn't seem to be boasting, merely stating a fact. She seemed to have gotten quite used to this line of work. Had she risen to her current rank on skill alone, just like I had? You seem to have done well yourself. I looked into it a little, but I couldn't tell when or where Callius disappeared at all. I see. So she missed Shion's little escapade before she was looking into that? No. Since Shion had gathered all the soldiers' attention, it must have made it easier for whoever cleaned up after us to move. Even so... What? You sound like you're quite enthusiastic about Shion, but you've never met her, have you? Do you believe in the destruction of the world? What are you talking about? Never mind, just answer. Her serious, unwavering gaze was proof enough that she wasn't joking or trying to confuse me. In that case, I should give her a serious answer as well. I feel something of an omen. There were quite frequent earthquakes and floods followed by severe droughts in places that didn't usually suffer such disasters. Electromagnetic interference with rendered radar and other transmissions useless plagued the airwaves. I had also heard of all sorts of strange phenomena in the field too. Still, the idea that the world will be destroyed doesn't feel very real. But the world will perish. There's almost no time left. The people that believe that have spent the last 100 years running themselves into the ground, advancing the Earth Evacuation project to escape from that destruction. Shion, the world will be saved because she was here. After the Great War that happened nearly 100 years ago, the population dropped drastically. Chaos reigned for a long time. However, the majority of the surviving humans have already embarked for space. It's the ships that she created that will give humanity a future among the stars. She may have protected mankind, but she doesn't have the strength to protect herself. That is why we're here. You and I have strength, the strength to kill others. Just as I thought, Levi wasn't afraid of me because... Murder is a deep sin, but to protect her, I'll kill without a moment's hesitation. She and I were the same. This is how it should be, right, Warrant Officer Ryou Haruna? Indeed it should. But you are lying. Lying? She inquired with a blank face. People aren't strong enough to fight for someone they've never met. Humans like that shouldn't exist. How would you know? Then who have you fought for? Someone important. Isn't that obvious? Shion may be someone you deem worthy of respect, but don't you actually have someone else important to you? Don't talk like you know everything. I'll apologize if I rubbed you the wrong way. I don't really want an apology. She shook her head and took a step towards me. And then she pulls out a blade. Then held out her hand at me. What? Let me borrow your gun. Don't you have your own? Mine isn't ready to fire. Just give me yours. Well, I'm actually looking at the time and I gotta go, so I'm sorry that I have to end this abruptly, and I actually don't want to burst my eardrums again. So because I know for a fact that Levi is gonna shoot and it's gonna be bang bang bang, but I'll save that for the next video. So thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace!